Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mr. George, and I'm going to be your instructor for this Math 2020 summer session. And this is going to go by really quick, so it is very critical for you guys to make sure that you are following along. Let's make sure that you are taking notes. Some of this information I will be going through rather quickly, so if you need something repeated, just feel free to go back and replay what it is that I said or whatever it is that you feel that you missed. Again, this is going to be simple, but make sure you have an understanding of what's been said so that as we build, you understand the basics, and as things get more complex, you're able to follow along easily. All right, so our first lesson is going to be adding and subtracting integers. First of all, what is integers? Okay. Now, integers are basically whole numbers and their negative opposites. Remember, whole numbers were basically numbers that start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the way up to positive infinity. Okay? Whole numbers and their negative opposites. So also the negative counterparts. So if we're taking a look at this slide, you see that it says that negative integers are basically data points that are less than 0, whose opposite to the positive integers, but written with the negative sign. And then it just simply says that positive integers are data sets that are greater than 0. 0 is neither positive nor negative, okay? So remember, integers are not just negative numbers. Integers are also positive numbers. They are whole numbers and their negative opposites. Let's go to our next slide. Absolute value. What is absolute value? Okay, absolute value is basically the distance between a number and 0 on its number line. Okay, so if we take a look at the right part of the screen over here, you'll see that we have -5 on the number line, and we also have 5 on the number line. Okay, so the absolute value of 5 is 5. 5 is exactly 5 units away from 0. What about -5? Is the absolute value -5? No, it's not. Remember, distance is not negative. Okay, how many units is -5 away from 0? The answer is 5. So the absolute value of -5 is 5. Okay, so just a quick recap. Negative numbers, they do not have there are no such thing as negative absolute values. It is simply the distance that value point is from 0. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, adding with integers. So when you're adding two positive numbers, okay, it's very simple. You're just going to add like we've done in elementary school. So you look here and you see 3, and it says we're going to add 5 to it. Well, we're going to be moving 5 units to the right on the number line. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we arrive at a positive 8. That's really simple. We don't need to talk about that one too much. All right. So it says the addition of a positive number and a negative number on a timeline. Okay, you'll see this indicated here. It says 12 plus a -5. Okay, 12 plus a -5. Anytime the signs are different, you're going to be subtracting. Okay, anytime the signs are different, you are going to be subtracting. So if we take a look at the number line here, you see the positive 12. We're going to be moving to the left. How many units? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll arrive at a positive 7. Okay, so remember, anytime the signs are different, you will be subtracting. So that 12 plus a -5 is the exact same thing as saying 12 minus 5, which is 7. Let me say that again. Anytime the signs are different, you will be subtracting. All right, so it says adding with two negative numbers. Now, I just said if the signs are different, that means we're going to be subtracting. So if the signs are the same, let me say it again. If the signs are the same, you will add them. Okay? So in this particular instance, we have two negative numbers. We have a -3 plus a -5. Okay? So we got -3. And we're going to add to that -5. Well, what is 3 plus 5? 3 plus 5 is 8. So that means that -3 plus a -5 gives you a -8. If you look at the number line, remember anytime you're dealing with a negative number, you're going to be moving to the left. If you look at this number line, we start at -3 and we'll go to the left 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll arrive at -8. Let's move on to the next slide. So this is just a quick conclusion of what we just said. Two positive numbers, you're basically going to add them and find the sum. Okay? Two negatives, it's going to be the exact same thing. You're going to add them, find the sum, but you have to keep that negative sign in front of it. Okay? -3 plus a -5 gives you -8. Okay? Whenever the signs are different, so if you look at this example, remember we had the 12 plus the -5. These signs are different, so we're going to be subtracting. Okay? We're going to be subtracting, so you have 12 plus a -5 that gives you +7. If we take a look at this second example here, you have 35 plus, this is a -87. -87. All right, the signs are different, so we can't add them, we have to subtract them. So you basically do 87 minus 35, okay? That gives you 52. But the sign of the 87 is bigger, and that's a negative. So we maintain that negative sign on that -52. Looking here, you have -38 plus 7. That gives you a -31. Okay? The signs are different, so you're basically subtracting, and I'm going to keep the sign of the bigger number. Looking at the next one, we have -5 plus 16. Well, the signs are different, right? Okay, so it's going to be 16 minus 5, right? Which gives you 11. Now, which sign is bigger? The 16. So that's a +11. All right, so let's go to our next slide. I want you guys to take a quick second, and I want you guys to try these on your own. That's -10 plus -4, -5 plus a -7. Pause the video and try to work these out really quick. All right. You should have paused. I'm hoping you paused. All right. So -10 plus a -4, the answer to that is -14. -5 plus a -7, the answer is what? I can't hear you. What'd you say? 12. That's correct. Let's move on to our next slide. All right, so same thing here. I want you guys to take just a brief moment. I want you to pause the video, and I want you to attempt these two problems. All right, you should have paused the video. We have a +6, and then we have plus a -7. Those signs are different. That answer is a -1. Remember, that's 7 minus 6. The sign of the 7 is bigger than the 6, so we keep the sign of the 7, which is a negative. So the answer is -1. The next problem, we have -13 plus 18. Okay? The signs are different, correct? So that's 18 minus 13. That answer is 5. Which sign is bigger, the 13 or the 18? That is the 18. So the answer to this one should have been a +5. One more. Okay, so we have 3 terms here. All right, so you would have to kind of break this up. So we're looking at, all of these are negatives. So you're looking at -8 plus a -10 plus a -7. Okay, so -8 plus a -10, that is -18. Right? -18 plus 7 gives you what? That's right, 25. So the answer to the first one should have been a -25 because all signs are different. Okay? Remember, when those signs are the same, you just simply add them. Looking at the next one, we have -14 plus a -6, and then we also have plus a +6. So -14 plus a -6. So we're looking at 14 plus 6, that gives you 20, but the sign has to be a -20. Okay? -20 plus 6, are the signs different or are they the same? They are different. So -20 plus 6 gives you, that's right, Negative 14 is the answer. All right, so let's move on to our next section, subtraction with integers. I actually think I'm gonna pause that video there, and I'm gonna just post a separate video with the subtraction of integers. So let's just go ahead and pause it there, and I'm gonna post a second video with subtraction with integers.